Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with IRS. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5 minute or less video. I can tell you everything you need to know within 5 minutes. I have worked for IRS for a decade. I have been doing tax defense for 4 decades. I've been representing people, really, God, for 40 years. I am a national expert in IRS resolution matters. I have a large Facebook group following of professionals. I have been on a lot of TV interviews. You can go to my website at 777irs.com. You can look at my television interviews. I've done 5 actually in the last 3 months. I have a whole team of former IRS agents that work with me, and you can look at my information below and contact us if you wish, in fact, to go ahead and do that. What I want to talk to you today about, I better stop this because this is recording everything I'm saying down here. Anyway, I wanted to, a lot of people call me and they say, hey, how many notices do I get before IRS is going to start taking action? Seizure action, levy action, wage garnishment action. How do these IRS letters work, and when do I have to really call Internal Revenue Service? So let me tell you the process so you know what the process is. When you file a tax return or owe back taxes, the first letter you're going to get is a CP-14 notice. From there, IRS notices run in 6-week cycles. A cycle is a week. So IRS will then send you a 501. Just, hey, by the way, we billed you on the CP-14, just letting it know you owe the money. The 503, little bit of a step up. Hey, we billed you before, we didn't hear you, pay this bill by this date. When the 504 comes, they're going to get your attention because they're saying, hey, this is one of your final notices to let you know that we can and will go ahead and seize, do a bank levy, contact third parties about you, file a federal tax lien, take your wages. It's a much more serious letter. It's at that time you get the IRS get your attention. Many times that 504 notice comes out certified, but then IRS must send you another letter by law, and it's the 1058 letter, which lets you know, hey, you got 30 more days, Buster, and if you don't do anything about this, we're going to bring the hammer down. It's at that time that IRS gives you your right to file a collection due process hearing, and then you can bet after that 30 days you are going to get a bank levy, a wage garnishment levy, and or a federal tax lien depending on your debt. So what do you do in the wake of all these letters and coming so you don't go ahead and so IRS doesn't seize or take your wages, or like I said, have you wake up one morning, you go to write a check, there's no money in that account? When you owe money, it's best to have a plan of what you're going to do. If you're going to do this yourself, you need to get familiar with the IRS financial statement, because IRS is going to take a financial statement and they're going to want to know what your exit strategy is or how you plan to pay the IRS debt. If it's a small amount, you can go on IRS, do an online payment and not contact anyone. They're streamlined payments. You can pay IRS off a period of time. But if you don't, if you can't pay the money, IRS has a currently non-collectible hardship program. They have a long-term payment plan if you need a different way to pay the debt that the normal streamlined payment won't give you. And then the other way is to do an offer and compromise if you need to pay the debt. That is doubt as to collectability. With those, you're going to need an IRS financial statement, and if it's at the service center, you're going to need a 433F. If it's in a local office with a revenue officer, you're going to need the 433A. You have to understand that IRS looks at these financial statements to make determinations, and they're going to want you to document those. Document them with what? They're going to want to know what all your expenses are, what your pay stub's like, what your bank statement is like, and what all your expenses are. So if you write anything on that, they want to go ahead and have you give your proof. So you're going to close your case with IRS by one of these 3 ways: by payment plan, that you're uncollectible, or you're going to file an offer and compromise. But you need to know that you don't want to wait till you get that 1058 letter and wait 30 days after that, because after that IRS is going to seize. So somewhere by the time you get your 503 letter, you better start thinking seriously about hiring somebody or getting ready to call IRS and let them know how you're going to take care of the debt so you can protect yourself. So IRS usually files liens. They have the ability to file them if you owe over $10,000, but you best have a strategy. If you owe a larger amount of money, you're best to get somebody involved like us, our team, or whoever you want. But remember, you need to give that person your current financial statement so they'll have the best idea how you can work with IRS and how they will not, in fact, damage you in any way. So IRS will work with you as long as you know what they're going to do with your financial statement, and that's why you really hire a professional, so they work between you and the IRS. If this information was helpful, please give me a subscription. I'd love to do that. It helps YouTube know we're doing a good job. Leave me a comment or a like. You want me to do a YouTube on something, do that. But once again, if you are going to go ahead and owe money, you've got to start thinking of a strategy to go ahead and deal with them. Thank you very much. I appreciate the subscription.